Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Temple of Technology. I am your host, Scott James Magner, the idiot with a microphone. I am the idiot, and this here is my microphone. As you can see behind me, we are on the moon, or rather, we are in the Temple of Technology's moon annex. I've got both the green curtain and the green screen, big long green screen behind me. I don't use the long one a lot, but when I do these unboxing videos, which is, by the way, what we're doing today, we're unboxing, I like to have a little more coverage in that corner, and I reorganized some things in here to make it more viable to put the big screen up a lot. So, you know, other than the notch right there, right in between the two, there's really some good coverage. And camera 2, where we stay classy, is the way that we want to show a lot of our green screen content. For comparison, I'll show you camera 1. Come on, camera 1. You can do it. Camera 1, come on. Why is camera 1 not turning on? Oh, it makes me so angry. Why is it not turning on? That doesn't make any damn sense. There's that. Okay, maybe if I turn the monitor off. There's no reason for this camera not to be on. In fact, this camera was on when we were testing out streams earlier. So see, I just turned that on. Huh, it is just giving preference to the main monitor. That's weird. Alright, so we're not going to worry about that today. We're going to worry about camera 2, where we stay classy, and the moon, and what it means to show all this stuff off. So, for those who don't know, I have been collecting comic books my entire life. Literally my entire life. And I've had 2. I died when I was a kid. But I had a bit of a starter feed with my mother's comic books, and I was able to start my collection quite well with her stuff from the 60s and 70s, with my own in the 80s, and then continuing on towards present day, where I no longer collect comic books, but I still buy them. Meaning I buy digital comic books or trade paperbacks or trade collections of comic book storylines, and I think to me it's a more digestible and easy to deal with type of comic book. But I still have 20-some, 30-some years of comic books collected. And they're in my garage. Or rather, some of them are in my garage. Some of them are right here in this room. And I just turned off the window I was going to put up here to show you some of those comic books. So I got to open that window again. We'll go here. Facebook. Facey Spaces. And my Bliggity blogs. Alright. So on the screen behind me there you go. You can see it in all of its gloriousness. So these are diamond shippers. These are how... there's Mjolnir there, keeping things safe. These are how comic books come to the comic book store. And they are specifically sized to fit 2 stacks of comic books and prepare them for shipment. And then they're nice and solid when they're packed up there, and you could put a lot of stuff in a diamond shipper. So I've got a bunch of diamond shippers for my comic books, specifically for my trades, but also for the floppies, right, that I've had and collected over the years. And this tape here, oh, you can't see it. All right. So this tape here, this tape here is from 2 moves ago. And the comics actually went into these boxes in 2009. So when I moved in with Lindsay for the first time. And it's now 2022. So you can see how long these things have been in here in these boxes, but they are in great shape. And we are going to unbox them today and put them into short boxes. Short boxes are the most economical way to get stuff together, and before the pandemic even hit, I had bought a bunch of short boxes and saying, you know, I need to organize this stuff. I need to get these things out of the diamond shippers. I need to get them into decent long-term collectibles. Some of them are bags, some of them aren't. That's a stream for another day. But the goal is to get them out of the diamond shippers into the short boxes, and in particular get the short boxes inside the house and not in the garage. And so that's what I'm doing. The first 3 boxes that I filled, I went through 7 or 8 diamond shippers, right, to get the stuff out of the diamond shippers and into the short boxes, and it filled up 3 of these. I filled up 3 of these, and basically the only organization I had was DC, Marvel, or other. And today I have constructed 2 more short boxes. By the way, if you've been watching these streams before, underneath the short boxes there, you can see the bamboo rug that I got for this room to make things a little better on my back and how things work. And so that bamboo mat is doing great. You can see one of the lights that I use here, just a printer setup. Everything is in this picture. This is one of the parts of my office that you don't see all that often because I don't have a camera trained on it. That's going to change in a very special unboxing that we will do Monday night. Tomorrow night, there's going to be another unboxing because we'll get more pieces of technology for this room. But I am going to open 2 of the diamond shippers from my garage. There are still 12 boxes of diamond shippers just like these in the garage, and another box of comics that's basically shoved into an old 12-pack of beer. I don't think those comics are doing as well as the others. And that's what we're going to end up doing today. So, with that in mind, we are going to... I had 2 viewers. We're back to 1 viewer, or no viewers. And we're going to go on with it. So, we're going to move over to the unboxing frame. Oh, what a great transition. With the wide green screen, I've got better coverage down here, and I can put myself at the bottom of the frame. See, I'm pointing towards the bottom of the frame, rather than being at the top of the frame. And I think it works better, especially for unboxing and stuff that we're doing like today. So I am going to push in my keyboard tray. Don't need the keyboard right now, because we are going to be right here on top of the camera. And I am going to open up the first box. So I'm going to use my second favorite tool of the universe, my trusty pocket knife. You can see my favorite tool in the universe right here, my leveling ruler. I love it. It gives context and importance to a lot of things I do. I'm going to use the short blade and be very careful to cut around the tape only and not into the comic books themselves. Oh, look at what's in this one. These are some older comics. All right. These don't fit as easily into DC, Marvel, other, but they are going to unbox well. And so I'm going to pull a stack out at a time, and then we will look at them. I have no idea how long this exercise will take, but look at this, Classics Illustrated. People today, kids today, won't know about Classics Illustrated. They won't know about how crazy... This is a classic novel, right? Crime and Punishment is a classic novel by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It is thick. It is this big. It is this big. This big. It's a big, thick book, and it's in Russian, right? But instead, here you've got it in 32 pages, right? It's been in this bag a while. You need to rebag it and brick it. For 15 cents, though, Classics Illustrated. And they had, as of this publishing, they had 167 issues of Classics Illustrated with all sorts of things. The Time Machine, Romeo and Juliet. I think collecting these would possibly be an amazing thing to do. I'm not going to take it out of this bag today because I'm going to take it out of the bag and put it into another bag. Things to note also about my comic book collection. It spans 70 years. So there's books in here that were put together in the 50s and the 60s. There are different sizes of comics, as you can see here. So the True Story of Smokey Bear is of the modern size. It's still the same size that you will see on today's comics. And to illustrate that, we will get out our ruler and we'll show you exactly what I mean. So that is 6.5 wide by 10.5 inches. So 6.5 by 10.5 for the new comics. These classic comics are 6 3/4 by 10.5. So they are quarter inch wider, but they tend to be thicker, and they roll a little differently when you put them in boxes. So what this means in general is that you need a different size of bag and board to support these and to keep them safe. Hey Wes, how's it going? I'm dealing with I'm playing with my comic books today. In fact, we need to turn on some things here. Or not. No, I just I haven't added all the features to my unboxing stream that I normally add. So there's another viewer there. Hooray! Don't be shy. Talk amongst ourselves. Mac Miserable. Alex, is that you? Alex, are you watching me unbox comic books on this stream? Because that would be pretty awesome if you will. My friend Alex Mack and I were chatting on Facebook today about exactly this, about unboxing comics and dealing with old comics. He has gotten back into comic book collecting. He collected with his father when he was younger, and he is now getting back into himself. So, True Story Smokey Bear. Yes, glad to have you, sir. Glad to have you. The True Story Smokey Bear, the True Story of Smokey. I'll tell you something true, Talking Eagle. A true story, and it happened not long ago. Oh, designed and produced 1960, 1964, 1969 by Western Publishing Company Incorporated. So I'm wagering that this comic book is from 1969. The True Story of Smokey Bear. One of the first and biggest superheroes. This is a book that I got from my mother's collection. The Phantom, Lee Falk's The Phantom. So this is November of 1974. Obviously, I did not buy this comic book myself. This is 1974 King Features Phantom, volume number 7, number 62. Ah, look at this! Look at this! The win prizes, get cash by selling magazine subscriptions. Oh, this book is in amazing shape for how old it is. There are, I think this was 22 pages, 23 pages, most of which are ads, right? Yeah. Look at the old paper. The old paper that these are printed on. This is all pulp paper, but it's so cheap, it's still got cut marks here on the bottom run. So yeah, 100-piece toy soldiers. I bought these toy soldiers out of the back of a comic book. I have them somewhere in my garage. So there were 23, 24, 25 pages of story, most of which were ads. Every other page is an ad. Yeah, 28 pages. So these old comics here, this was, there isn't even a price on this comic. Hang on, oh, there it is, 25 cents. 25 cents for that one. And so we've also got issue 19. This was issue number 62. This is issue 19. This is a 12-cent comic, which means November 19th, 1966, The Astronaut and the Pirates. Oh, this is a great old comic. Still got the same. It's got multiple. It's coming apart, right? This comic has seen better days, but yeah. Oh, so much stuff. It's an ad in the back for how to crochet dresses and sweaters for your dolls. All right. Oh, this is one of my favorite comics, actually. This is Chinese manga, right? So there's stuff in the back. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff going on. Basically, it's these three having wacky adventures. So I'm not exactly sure how old this comic is. I'm fairly sure that I bought it in the early 90s. Or as I picked it up in the early 90s. It has not fared well over the years. But Old Master Q is what this is. So we'll see about that. Oh, now we're into it. Now we're into the good stuff here. It's the Legion Superheroes. It's the Legion Superheroes. This is the 80s run. I collected a lot of these. Oh, did I love the Legion Superheroes. Not only as... you can see this is in the wrong size bag, right? I had classic bags. I didn't have the money to get the modern bags. And so basically I put a lot of modern comics into classic bags, and they suffer by moving around a lot. When I rebag these, I'm going to get them into proper bags. In fact, now let's just move this camera camera 2 over a little bit, so there's more of me. Yeah, there's more of me here. And I can see my hands. I'm very expressive with my hands. Oh, the Legion. All right, so these go in the other pile. And here's this Tales of the Legion. The reason why these say Tales of the Legion is because at the time, DC was doing a thing where they were experimenting with going, look at this, this is an old rubber band that got stuck in there, and it has been pressed between comic books for 30 years and has just completely compressed and liquefied. So, ick. Anyway, Legion Superheroes, along with Titans and a couple other books, were sold as prestige books on Baxter paper straight to comic book stores. They did not go to the newsstands. And then 14 months later, the deal was you would get the same stories on the newsstands. And so you could buy Legion of Superheroes or just the Legion, and then Tales of the Legion Superheroes, because these are technically reprints, right? You would get those. But look at these great old characters. So that's Wildfire rather, Drake Burroughs. Dude was turned into sentient plasma, and his containment suit was the only thing holding him together. So he basically was just living energy. And then here he is here with Ultra Boy, Joe Na, and oh god, I just forgot her name. Star. Anyway, got a good run of these because I subscribed at the time. We'll do a tiny bit of getting them in order. The Fatal Five have come. Dawnstar. Dawnstar was her name. Censor Girl's Secret. Censor Girl was a legionnaire who showed up with strange powers. And then, so this is what the actual book was, Legion Superheroes. And then this is from earlier in the run. And then later on, it was Tales of the Legion is the reprint version. So that is the original Supergirl there. Kara Zor-El this is pre-Crisis. So Kara Zor-El is alive. That's when there was only the one Legion. So there's the original Brainiac 5, original Colossal Girl, original Shrinking Violet. Look at that. Chuck Tanner's the Legion of Substitute Heroes. Legion Academy. Night Girl, Cosmic Boy. Oh, I love the Legion Superheroes. So I started reading the Legion Superheroes. In fact, there's a big giant run here of Legion Superheroes. Yeah, these have stood up quite well because they were in bags for a long time. I mean, this probably went into the bag in late 1984, and these comics went on an adventure with me. I mean, they went to college with me, but they didn't make it all the way. They oh, look at that guy. They ended up in the back of my truck when my truck broke down in the high Nevada desert. Look at that. A D&D video game. Look at that. That in television. Look at those incredible Intellivision graphics right there. Original Shrinking Violet. I don't have an accent. I'm not saying there weren't shrinking pirates. But, come on. Alright, 308. So let's get all these back in order here. So this is a fairly complete run of the Legion of that time. In fact, this is right before they went to the premium format. So look at that. There was a character called Prophet. He was presaging a character called Omen. The big blow up of 2984. You can see Duo Damsel and Bouncing Boy here coming to help Brainiac 5 as he blows up. He's under arrest. Oh, yeah. We're getting another Giffen run here. Alright. Legion trapped in the 20th century. Karate Kid is actually from the 20th century, and he went into the future. Oh, Reflecto. Mon-El. Mon-El was one of my favorite Legionnaires because he was not Superman. Alright, and so these are comics that I collected. This is a comic that my mother collected, and my mother was also a fan of the Legion. And so 30 cents. This is January 72, I think. We got the Time Trapper. We got Superboy. Basically, Superboy's comic was flagging a little bit. And 77, January of 77. Oh, look at that. Got Mike Grell, Bob Wycheck, Jim Shooter. Jim Shooter's Legion was fantastic. Jim Shooter showed up at the DC offices. He was 13, 14 years old, and said, you should give me a job. And they said, hey, you're 14 years old, kid, get the hell out of here. And he goes, no, you should give me a job. And he basically bullshitted his way into writing the Legion of Superheroes, and he wrote some of the most amazing Legion stories of all time. There's Dawnstar and some of her original Mike Grell stuff. Oh, Brainiac 5. No, Brainiac 5. Don't tell me that you betrayed everyone. Ha ha ha. Those fools, they trusted you. Yeah. All right, I'm thinking the next things I grab will also be Legion Superheroes. So it looks like they are. We get a big stack. Here we go. Oh, I just saw some of the stuff that's been up underneath this. Yeah, these have been in these for a while. 251. The Jovian Attack Squad. Oh no, the Jovian Attack Squad. Come to the circus and die. Witness the final act of the Circus of Death. Ha ha ha. Oh, I love these books. Who are the 5 people the Legion must rescue? There are these people in the background. Spoilers, they rescue them. Again, you can see this bag. This bag, not only is it a classic bag, but I bought this issue from a comic book shop. It has a sealed gutter on the bottom and on top. This was state of the art in the 80s for comic book collecting, for what you have to do. Now you've got acid-free backing boards, which I'll be buying many of. Oh no, we've gone to Marvel. All right, so got a big stack here. Three independent comics. I'm gonna put them in the independent box. Okay, this giant run of Legion, we'll put that in the classic DC box right in front of Crisis. May even have to get another box out here. All right, so we've got Mighty Thor, and we've got the Avengers of the Time behind him. This is April 80 something. What does it say here on the top? April of 88. So we've got Thor, we've got Steve Rogers as Captain America, or just the Captain as he was known because he had quit, walked away. There's Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel. There's Dr. Druid, Dr. Anthony Druid, one of the stupidest comic book heroes of all time. Dane Whitman, the Black Knight, you saw him in the Eternals. Namor, the Submariner, and then She-Hulk. Now, I have 2 copies of this for some bizarre reason, and I know that reason. That reason is because my subscription had doubled up. And I have renewed my subscription, and I got 4 months of double books. And so here is another thing here. Got the Amazing Spider-Man hanging out here. Look at the back of these things, too. I do mean Anthony Druid there. Yeah, Tony Druid. Look at the ads for role-playing games, which I bought. I wanted these so bad. Top Secret SI and the Forgotten Realms campaign set. I have them now, mainly because I worked for TSR. What is this? What is this? Boris the Bear. Look at Boris the Bear here. This is the kind of the weird indie shit that I got when I was in college. He's a bear with a magic fountain pen, and he's fighting GoBots, it looks like. Boris the Bear, number 2, 1986, Dark Horse Comics. All right, so I got this. I probably got this in a lot. But, yeah, this is issue 2 of Boris the Bear. I don't even have his origin story. But this issue's title is Die, Robot, Die. You gotta love that. Looking at all the weird Greeks. They're down. Ooh, that's not. Oh, wow. I don't need to see that anytime soon. That's an indie book. Back when Dark Horse said. So, The Incredible Hulk. This was Grey Hulk. And this is Grey Hulk pre-Joe Fixit. But I was pretty serious about this stuff. Seth MacFarlane. No, this was Joe Fixit. Okay, yeah. Here's Incredible Hulk. Oh, wait. The Free Adventures of Kool-Aid Man. Oh, I got this comic book for free by buying Kool-Aid. This is a Mike Richardson book, in fact. Alex, thank you for asking. There is his name right up there. Story by Mike Richardson. Art by James Dean Smith. Yeah. Anyway, back to this Kool-Aid Man stuff. This was put out by Archie Comics, I think. Yeah, the next one says clearly Archie Comic Books on the top. This is Adventures of Kool-Aid Man number 4 from... Where are we? 1987, put out by the General Foods Corporation. Here is an earlier version of The Adventures of Kool-Aid Man. This one doesn't even have a cover. That's how cheap this comic book is. It doesn't have a cover. It's simply more newsprint. And this is The Adventures of Kool-Aid Man number 5. This is number 4. Nice. It's got a glossy cover. It's got the good interiors. In fact, it's got glossy interiors too. What is this? A big map? What's going on here? There's a miniature comic book inside the comic book that is all glossy paper. It is. It's a fold-out map of Kool-Aid Land. So you have to destroy your comic book to get that out there. Good thinking, guys. All right, the Wacky Warehouse. Yeah, sure, you betcha. All right, so there is no reason to keep this book other than nostalgia. This book is trash. This is from October of 1972. The cover is long gone. But you know what? I remember reading this book. I remember this is when I fell in love with Volstagg because he helped this little girl with her dolly and hung out with her. And then, there's so much stuff going on in this book. This is a great book. Here's the 25th anniversary month. This is when the Mutant Massacre happens. So if you bought this cover, it meant that you were tying into the Mutant Massacre. You can see the X-Men at the bottom and X-Factor, and then it goes up to the Avengers, Fantastic Four, all the way down. Here's another one from the early collection. My Thor is all over the place, apparently. So there's a modern Thor. Silver Age Thor. Thou hast dared to challenge Hercules, and so must die. Yeah. Here he is facing the god Hades. A war between Asgard and Earth. The Thunder God caught in the middle. Oh, these... I think so many memories. So many memories. Oh, look, the Unstoppable Night of the Troll. Oh, it's Who's Who. Look at that. So, things to know. All right. Marvel Comics had put out a series of books called Marvel Universe. The official handbook of the Marvel Universe. They look like this. So this is in 1982. They had number one, a series of 12. I have all 12 sitting right here in this box, by the way. And the 3 books that came out of it, which were the Book of the Dead. And then they had the expanded Marvel Universe, where they just reprinted them all again with more stuff that they've been up to over the years. But Marvel had put out this kind of hokey thing, and it all, if you laid them all out, you'd have this giant picture. They went down. This is the Aquarian. They went down deep into the barrel to get all these guys. Archon the Thunderer. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, so post-Crisis, DC started doing this. They started doing the Who's Who because they had just blown up the universe, and they had a whole bunch of new characters and characters who had new stories post-Crisis, and this is their way of just explaining the post-Crisis histories of everybody. And so this is issue 3. I've got issue 1 here. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. And what Marvel didn't do is what DC did. They listed who was inside and what page they were on. Because you don't have to pay an artist for this side of the book. George Perez. God. Is there anybody better than George Perez? I ask you. He was so good at all of this. So, March 1985. This is the first one. So we got 1, 2. This is pre-crisis. This is actually pre-crisis. Because there's old Batman and new Batman. So it's Earth 1, Earth 2. But Batman 1, Batman 2, Bat Equipment, Batmite, Batwoman, Beautiful Dreamer, George Perez. Oh, so amazing. Black Lightning when he was a joke rather than being a big superstar. There's Brother Blood here. Oh, look at all these dudes. The Brain. So many people. Oh, so many people. These are probably still in order. So, no, this is the 87 update. This is the post-crisis one. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Excellent. These are not George Perez covers. I don't know who did these covers, but it was not George Perez. So groovy. So groovy. All right. World's Finest for a while was an ensemble book. I morphed into a bunch of other things, but World's Finest is where you could get cool team-ups between Batman and Superman. These are all pre-crisis stories, and so they are a bit crazy. This is the Super Friends Batman. And as Zatanna got her own monthly feature here. You get latest edition of the Daily Planet inside. This comic was $1. And on the back of this comic, you can see that they are hyping up the Marvel versus DC crossover from that year. Batman versus the Incredible Hulk when it goes on sale December 24th. And then you see the Joker in the background. 1982. Oh, God, those years. The Phantom Stranger, the Creeper. Oh, I missed the Creeper. He was kooky. 80-page comics for $1. That is a thick, thick comic book right there. World's finest. Oh, yes. The army of crime. Batman and Superman are dead because of a tornado. Which the army of crime here is just forgetting that it is Superman, not Stupid Man. All right. After Crisis, we had Invasion. And Invasion was basically all the new heroes fighting each other and doing stuff. But all the aliens that you saw in the issues of the Omega Man and DC's Cosmic stuff then, this is January of 89, they got together and they all invaded Earth. And there's a bunch of stuff going on. George Perez, of course, working right here. And then, here we are. Man, did I love this book back in the day. I'm going to put these in the DC Classic pile because they are from the 80s. I'll deal with that stacking. Mike Grell somehow talked them into his own Tarzan kind of book. And so he invented this character known as the Warlord. And basically he lived in the Inner Earth. This went for 140 issues, I think. It went a long time. And it did not age well in post-crisis. But these are in great shape. These haven't been in... yeah, here it is. The last issue was 133. 44-page final issue. Oh, look at this stuff. So basically, he had a daughter. Daughter was a sorcerer. He was a modern man living in a fantasy world. Descendants of Orion, Prince of Atlantis. Yeah. Well, this 13 years they did this sword and sorcery book, and it was simply because John Carter, Warlord of Mars, was the rights were held by Marvel Comics and not DC Comics. So they decided that was going to stop them. They're just going to do their own. So they did the Warlord. And I knew of the character. I'd seen him in crossovers, and I started collecting towards the end of the run because there was some really good D&D type stuff going on in these pages, in these books, and I wanted a piece of that, let me tell you. So I've got about a year and a half of Warlord stories there. All right, that is one half of a Diamond Shipper. It took 40 minutes to get through that, so we're doing pretty well, actually. So let me move these into the boxes. I'll be right back. A lot closer to Conan. I did like Jack Chalker. He's one of my favorite science fiction authors, and I read a lot of Well of Souls content. All right. Get these Kool-Aid Man comics properly archived, so you know they maintain their value. Ha ha ha. Oh, what do we got here? All right. The science fair story of electronics. An discovery that changed the world. Look at this state-of-the-art computer on this comic book. State-of-the-art right there, man. That level of computing. Where are we here? The story of electronics. Copyright 1978 by Tandy Corporation. Tandy Computers put this out so that, you know, we would like computers. Look at that. Whitman book, Tom and Jerry. Oh, Judo Master. Wow. So if you saw Judo Master in Peacemaker on HBO, this is the character. This is the guy. He was a 60s superhero from modern comics that got folded into a couple different other comic book companies. And he was basically, he did judo, and he had a teen sidekick. There he is. And they defended Japan. Judo Master. I forgot I had this. 35 cents. Money well spent. I don't think I paid 35 cents for it. I think I picked this up. This book here is from 1966. So, oh, we're losing our focus. You can see my ring, but can you see my comic books? Oh, I hate it when I lose focus like that. Let me turn that camera off. Turn it back on again. Turn it off. Turn it back on again. Turn that on there. Look, it's the moon. Oh, we got to get that squared away. All right, so let me... Almost had it there. The autofocus is weird, right? Sometimes it'll go, sometimes it won't. There it goes. It popped right in. Mickey Mouse and Goofy explore energy. Walt Disney Media Corporation. This MCM LXX 1976 this comic book was. And then, of course, Mickey Mouse and Goofy explore energy conservation. Supply, demand, energy balance. This is important stuff right here. So a comic that is been absolutely trashed by the years, but we'll look at it anyway. It is New Terry Toons number 34, Heckle and Jekyll. Heckle and Jekyll. 132-piece Roman soldiers. Only $225 plus shipping and handling. Here's my $225. Rush 132-piece Roman soldier set to me. If not satisfied, I may return merchandise for full refund. Haha. Canadian orders had to add another international money order to do that because the currency was awful. Oh, it's the House of Yang. 1976 House of Yang. This was in response to Marvel's Shang-Chi. House of Yang in the 70s is Charlton Comics. I picked these up at a garage sale. I remember it. Andy Panda. People talk about Andy Panda. He was an actual Gold Key Comics character, Andy Panda. Wow. I can't even with those. All right, this series here. This is one of my favorite series of the 80s and 70s, for that matter. GI Combat, baby. World War II was big on nostalgia because the Vietnam War, not so fun for a lot of people, especially people who had fought in it. So GI Combat had a whole bunch of rotating features. For example, this is the Haunted Tank. The Haunted Tank is a little embarrassing, but we're going to talk about it anyway. In fact, it'll be right here in this issue, where the Nazis have a robot demon tank, and our character here, the Haunted Tank. Oh, man. I'm trying to describe the Haunted Tank without glorifying it. Essentially, it was a bunch of good old Southern boys riding around in a haunted tank. And they had a big rebel flag on their tank. And they rode around in Germany blowing up Nazis with the ghost of Robert E. Lee. The ghost of Robert E. Lee followed them around. Yeah, it was Robert E. Lee or Jeb Stuart. It was one of those guys. It was one of those guys, big Confederate history guy. He, anyway, the 70s and 80s, man, they were fucked up. They were messed up. Haunted Tank. You're not seeing that one made into a movie anytime soon. All right. Oh, look at that. More Tales of the Legion. And so, we've got this guy down here is named the Magpie. He is beating up Starman and Dream Girl. That's pretty much all I need to know about that. Got a lot of Tales of the Legion here. I picked these up half on the dollar. Some I subscribed to, some I did not. A Legionnaire will die! It's exciting stuff. Wow. Alright. More Tales of the Legion. And that's all in the 80s. But then we can go back to the 70s. Where we've got more great stuff. Oh, A Cold and Lonely Corner of Hell. This right here, I got chills remembering this issue. This is one of the Keith Giffen issues leading up to the Great Darkness Saga. Oh, man. This comic. I got chills. I really do. Because so much stuff happened from here on out. Giffen. Yep, here's the Great Darkness Saga. It's happening right here. Oh, wow. I'd forgotten I had these. I'd forgotten I had these in single issue format. I've certainly gotten a trade. Oh, look at that. Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld. Free 16-page feature. Inside this. Number 299. Do I have issue 300? Oh, I do not have issue 300. I have issue 299. Tell me it's just out of order. 298, 299, 300. Somehow I'm missing issue 300. Legion Superheroes. I feel cheated. Oh, the Time Trapper. Who is the Time Trapper today, I ask you? Does it matter? No. Oh, look at these great old issues. I love the Legion Superheroes. I love them so much. That's issue 271. But here's issue 197, Timberwolf. When he first joined up. I remember this issue. It is burned into my brain. Well, let me get these, in the right order. Put those up there. Superboy had a gun stuck on his hand, and he couldn't get it off. And then it took him over, the gun that mastered men. And he started killing people. Ha ha! It was so great. But the next issue, issue number 200 of Superboy. Superboy comics used to be called Adventure Comics, and then it was Superboy starring the Legion of Superheroes all the time. This is Bouncing Boy and Duo Damsel, who was once known as Triplicate Girl. And this is why all this happens in the 200th issue. This one here is actually worth some money. I'm glad it's been protected all this time. Oh, the Ready Rangers. Oh, wow. I wanted this so much. I wanted this field pack, this Ready Rangers field pack so much. It supposedly had a poncho bedroll, a communications power pack, a PA horn, a baroscope, an intruder detector, a starfinder, a compass, an invisible slate with the accessories tent, distance computer, and canteen. Aurora Products Corp. I didn't understand advertising. I didn't actually understand how old these comic books were when I was first reading them. I didn't know that they were many years old. This is from 1973. When I wasn't even reading then. In fact, I can't even remember 1973. I can remember after 1976, 1977, because I cracked my skull, and it changes your life. Don't die, kids. It sucks. Oh. But the Legion of Superheroes was clearly one of my mother's favorite books, and she had collected many of them. And then I inherited her collection, read them all, loved them, and started buying my own Legion of Superheroes comics when I was able. And this looks like another big stack of the Legion. So, what do we got here? 219, 222. If Tyrok escapes, Metropolis will die screaming. West Coast Avengers. Oh, look at that. That's all the Legion. All right, so now we got to deal with the West Coast Avengers, which was, hey, we have all these characters and none of them are good enough for their own book, so we have to do something with them. So the West Coast Avengers were Wonder Man, Hawkeye, the Wasp, Scarlet Witch, Tigra, Moon Knight on occasion. In fact, there'll be a bunch of Moon Knight in here. Got Web of Spider-Man popped in. Oh, look at that. We're back to Who's Who. All right, so let's put these in the Marvel box real fast. So we can go back to our collection of Who's Who. So we got Volume 6, Volume 7. This is when Elongated Man was rebranding. We're almost to Crisis at this point, so Barry Allen, The Flash, pages 18 and 19. Barry Allen had just wrapped up his series with a giant... it was a giant storyline of him put on trial for the murder of Reverse Flash, and I remember it. There was this cover. In fact, it's probably in this stack, this cover of him being unmasked, and he had sneaky... done cosmetic surgery on himself so that people wouldn't know that Barry Allen was the Flash when he was unmasked in court. We're getting into the Can't Believe It's Not Justice League stuff here. Here's Wally West Flash. There's Killer Frost. Lightning Lad. Martian Manhunter. Mary Marvel. Mark Moonrider. Wow, who remembers Mark Moonrider? That was a thing right there. And they dealt Mon-El, one of my personal favorite characters of all time, one of the Legionnaires, Mon-El. Harbinger. So this is, while Crisis is going on, they are still wrapping up Who's Who. Sergeant Rock. Very important part of the DC universe. Sergeant Rock. We're down to Starfinger in issue 14 of Who's Who. Yeah, I touched a couple Moon Knight books in this box earlier today, looking at how everything was squared away. So this is, what we got there, volume 24 of this, February 1987. April 97, volume 26. And then they just start updating it. So here's volumes 1, 2, and 3 of the update. So let me put that all here. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. I might only even do one box. It's taking me an hour to go through these boxes, touching every one of them. What else have we got here? Yeah, no more George Perez, obviously. Yep, they just did a 4-issue update. Right, update 88. They had 40 issues a year. Yeah. '18, 19. 18, 19, 20. There we go. We got your World's Finest Comics. Oh no, where's Batman? He's been buried alive. Ha ha ha. Teen Titans Spotlight was another book that was having no worries, man. Thank you for coming out. It's really good to talk with you again. And it's good to have a companion on my unboxing journey. So Teen Titans Spotlight was, again, another book that was done premium, and they eventually sent it to newsstands, and I think these are in reverse order. Basically, it was individual solo stories of the Teen Titans of the time, the Perez Titans. For example, here's the Omega Man with Starfire's little brother, Ryan Deer, and then of course here's Starfire going to fight apartheid. You could tell how timely this was in 1986. So we got theirs. And here's the Watchmen are coming. Who watches the Watchmen? You can see here at the bottom. Oh, hey, come on now. The tape got loose with me. The Watchmen was getting to be a thing. There's Jericho. So you can tell I was buying these in a comic book store because there's no UPC code. They were using that space for advertising. So Jericho had like a 5-issue miniseries to do this all up. Vexus Comics in Portland I bought these from. I was there on vacation with my mother. We went to Astoria with friends of the family and we picked agates. Look, and here it is. Boom, it's Hawk. This is Jackson Guise. This is right before the Hawk and Dove revival, where Girl Hawk was part of the deal. Girl Dove was part of the deal. Aqualad. Nobody actually cared about Aqualad, and when he died, nobody cared then either. This is here we're talking about Changeling, who was originally in the Doom Patrol. And here's the Doom Patrol stuff. It's the Brotherhood of Evil. Another classic bunch there. Here's Hawk again, being a super secret agent. Wonder Girl with her human husband before he got retconned. Crisis was not kind to the Teen Titans. Bad things happen to everybody. Alright, so that's a few hundred comics I went through just there. Just one box, right? And I've got another box. I don't know if I want to go through it or not, but I probably will. So a lot more DC content here than I thought there was going to be. So rather than put up another box, I'm just going to dump them into... I'm going to dump all the Who's Who stuff into a separate box. And then we'll leave all of this Spotlight stuff alone. I really do want to get a collected trade of these Who's Who issues because I don't think they've aged well. I think they have aged poorly, in fact. But we'll only find out if we go and buy them. Oh, the Lost World of the Warlord. Wow. All right. Volume 1, Volume 2, put them here. Volume 4, so there's one a year. Volume 5. All right. And then update 88 at the back of it. So if you are not Alex and watching this for the first time, I do this kind of shit all the time. Or rather, 4 people like Alex who are watching this for the first time. I think there's only one person named Alex watching this. So I do this a lot. I unbox things. I talk about the things, what the things mean to me. And occasionally there's dead air like there when I was bending over putting stuff in this long box. This short box, rather. Oh, come on, get in there. There we go. There's a lot of history in my garage. A lot of stuff that means a lot to me and not to a lot of anybody else. So by documenting it, by talking about it online, it gives us more of a history. That was loud. I'm sorry about that. I was just showing you this at the bottom of the long box. Really well constructed. This box has been sealed since 2009. In fact, it's pretty much this week in 2009 when I was filling these boxes in preparation for moving in with Lindsay. So they're all dated March and April of 2009. So they've been in there for 14 years. 14 years these comics have been away. I haven't been touching them. I haven't been reading them, watching them. They effectively have not existed for me since then. We should change that. We should figure out how this all goes. And what I will do is I will start cataloging them soon. Once I get them all scored away and I know how much DC I have and how much DC I don't have, and we will go from there. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these indies out and put them in another Marvel box because there is way too a lot of DC. I have many more DC comics than I have any other kind of comic in my collection. So I think that's going to be it for now. My throat's a bit parched. I might need some adult beverage, and I want to prep for doing a game stream later on today. So let me head back to the main screen and the moon. Hello, everyone from the moon. That's my desktop there. I am lit from below because you need these lights. Yeah, see that seam that just appeared on the green screen back there? That's because it's not well lit or lit enough. And with lights on, the green screen works wonderfully. And you can barely even tell that it's a 90-degree thing behind me. So we will head back to that 90 degrees. Oh, look at that. Screwing around there. All right. Is the Brio working? Is the 4K camera working today? Why is the 4K camera not working? Oh, that's why. That's why the 4K camera isn't working, because it was set up at its maximum resolution, which meant we only saw the tiniest portion of it, rather than the portion we should have seen. So you can see the edge of the green screen here behind me. And this is the unboxing camera rig that I've got. I've got a Logitech C920 right here on my boom mic with the microphone. And so if I tag back and forth between camera 1 and camera 2 behind me, you can see the difference in how well it all comes together. But that's my stream, ladies and gentlemen. Please, thank you for showing up. And if you want to get in touch with me, see me do more stuff, there's a few ways you can do it. Down at the bottom of the screen here, you can see my socials. On Twitch, I'm here at SJ Magner. On YouTube, it's Scott James Magner, my full name. You can also search for Idiot with a Microphone in either place, and you'll find me. I play games on Steam, and I maintain a Discord server. So you can get me in both of those places at Bog1X, and search for Scott James Magner on Facebook, and you'll probably find me and some of the stuff that I'm doing. You can certainly search for Idiot with a Microphone and get all of my gaming streams there. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for coming out, and remember to like, follow, and subscribe any of these channels, whichever one you're watching them on. But I tell you one thing you can do is do not subscribe to me on Twitch. That costs money, and unless you've got a free subscription sitting around, even if you have a free subscription, it still costs money, and you should save that money for someone who knows what they're doing. I am an idiot with a microphone. It says so right here on the screen. Idiot with a microphone. I barely know what I'm doing. I do this not for money, but for myself and for fun. So if you want to support the stream, if you want to support me in the stuff that I do, instead you can buy my books. I write science fiction, and I publish science fiction, and rsentertainment.com is a small press that I have formed to help independent authors with their publishing needs. And so we are a progressive publisher who support independent authors and the stories that they tell. We put out science fiction, heroic fantasy, dark fantasy, horror, poetry, whatever we want to, because we care more about art and artists than we do about money and profits. And doesn't mean I don't want to make money. You should clearly buy my books. It says so right here. But you should also support independent authors. So go to your local bookstores, go to libraries, go to all the places where you think books are sold. You will be able to order my books there. Our books, rsentertainment.com. And that's it. That's my spiel. I could do a lot better job marketing myself and my authors, but I'm an idiot with a microphone. What were you expecting? So that's where we're going to leave it off for today. I hope you had a great time watching me play with my comic books. I certainly enjoyed it. And I will get back to you soon. Until then, I am Scott James Magner, the Idiot with a Microphone, and my stream is ending. Please have a great rest of your day.